Hi, I'm Margaret. At 42 years old, I've built a life most people would envy: a successful marketing career, a loving husband named James, and a beautiful home in the suburbs. But it took me decades to get here. Decades to undo the damage of a childhood that was stolen from me piece by piece. I was sitting at my kitchen table one Tuesday morning when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello? Margaret? Is this Margaret Chen? Yes, who's calling? This is Diane Foster from Riverside Nursing Home. I'm calling about your mother, Linda Chen. You're listed as her emergency contact. My coffee cup stopped halfway to my lips. I haven't spoken to that woman in 20 years. I understand, but she's had a fall. She's asking for you specifically. Says she needs to talk to you about something important. She can want whatever she likes. I'm not interested. Miss Chen, your mother is quite ill. The doctors say... I don't care what the doctors say. I hung up. James walked into the kitchen, adjusting his tie. Who was that, babe? Nursing home. Linda fell. He stopped moving. Your mom? The one who... Yeah, that one. I stared at my phone. They want me to come see her. Do you want to? I want to never think about her again. I took a long sip of coffee. But maybe I need to see this for myself. James sat down across from me. Margaret, are you sure? After everything she did to you? I'm not going to help her if that's what you're worried about. I just need to see that karma finally caught up. That evening, I called my younger sister, Sarah. She picked up on the third ring. Maggie? Oh my God, it's been forever. Hey, Sarah, I got a call about Linda. Her voice changed immediately. Oh, yeah, I was going to call you about that. Were you? Really? I know how you feel about her, Maggie, but she's our mother. She was never a mother to me, I said flatly. Tell me what happened. She fell in her apartment, broke her hip. She's been in the nursing home for 2 weeks now, and they're saying she can't live alone anymore. And you want me to do what exactly? Come see her? Talk to her? Maggie, she's asking for you specifically. She says she needs to make things right. I laughed bitterly. Make things right? Sarah, do you remember our childhood at all? I remember Mom working really hard to keep us fed. You remember wrong. You were 6 when I left. You don't remember her locking me in the basement when I didn't finish all the housework. You don't remember her forcing me to quit school at 15 to work full-time while she gambled away every cent. You don't remember her hitting me when dinner wasn't ready exactly at 6. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Maggie, that can't be true. Mom said you were just rebellious, that you ran away because... Because what? Because I wanted a life? I was 17 when I finally escaped, Sarah. 17, with nothing but the clothes on my back and the money I'd hidden from her. She needs us now. She needed to be a decent human being 30 years ago. That ship has sailed. So you're just going to let her rot in that nursing home? I'm going to do exactly what she did to me. Nothing. I paused. Actually, I think I will visit her. I want to look her in the eye and tell her exactly that. Maggie, please. I'll call you after I see her. I hung up. The next morning, I drove to Riverside Nursing Home. The antiseptic smell hit me immediately as I walked through the automatic doors. A cheerful nurse directed me to room 217. Linda was smaller than I remembered. Time had shrunk her, made her frail. She looked up when I entered, and her eyes lit up. Margaret, oh baby, you came! Don't call me that. I stood in the doorway, not moving closer. I'm only here to tell you something. Please, sit down. We need to talk about... We don't need to talk about anything. I'm here to make one thing perfectly clear. I'm not helping you. Her face crumpled. But I'm your mother. I raised you. You enslaved me. There's a difference. Margaret, please, I know I wasn't perfect, but I did my best. Your best? I stepped into the room, letting the door close behind me. Your best was forcing a child to run a household? Your best was beating me when I couldn't keep up with impossible demands? I never beat you. I disciplined you when necessary. You broke my arm when I was 13 because I burned the rice. She looked away. You're exaggerating. You always were so dramatic. I have the hospital records, Linda. I kept everything. Her eyes snapped back to me. What? Every doctor's visit. Every time a teacher asked about bruises. Every report from the school counselor you ignored. I kept it all. I've been waiting for this moment for 25 years. You can't prove anything. It was so long ago. Can I? I pulled out my phone. I've been in touch with some interesting people lately. Tom, for instance. Your brother? He hasn't spoken to me in years either. Funny how that works. Neither of your older children want anything to do with you. I scrolled through my messages. Tom had quite a lot to say when I reached out yesterday. Turns out his childhood was similar to mine. Who knew? Tom is lying if he said I mistreated him. Is he? Because he remembers you making him work at the factory when he was 14. He remembers you taking his paychecks. He remembers you hitting him with a belt when he asked to try out for the football team. Linda's hands trembled. I was trying to teach you both responsibility. You kids today, you don't understand how hard it was. Hard? You spent our childhoods at the casino while we raised ourselves. A nurse knocked and peeked in. Everything okay in here? I heard raised voices. Everything's fine, I said calmly. Just a family discussion. The nurse looked uncertain but left. Linda immediately leaned forward. Margaret, baby, please. I'm sick. I need help. The nursing home is so expensive and my Medicare won't cover long-term care. Sarah said you're doing well, that you have money now. Ah, there it is. You want my money. I need it. They're going to move me to the state facility if I can't pay. Do you know what those places are like? I can imagine. Cold, uncaring staff. Minimal food. No control over your own life. Sounds familiar, actually. Her face paled. You wouldn't. Watch me. I stood up. I'm going to make sure you end up exactly where you deserve. And I'm going to use every legal method available to ensure you get no help from anyone in this family. You can't do that. Sarah will help me. Sarah doesn't have any money, Linda. She's been struggling since her divorce. And Tom? He told me yesterday he'd rather light his money on fire than give you a cent. This is cruel! I'm your mother! You were supposed to be. Instead, you were my jailer. I headed for the door. Margaret, wait! Please! I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I wasn't the mother you wanted. I turned back. You're not sorry you hurt me. You're sorry you need something from me and can't get it. There's a difference. I left her crying and went straight to the administrative office. A tired-looking woman named Beverly greeted me. Miss Chen, thank you for coming in. We need to discuss your mother's care plan. I'm not going to be contributing financially. Beverly's smile faltered. I see. Well, unfortunately, her insurance coverage is running out, and without family support, she'll go to a state facility. I understand. Those facilities are quite overcrowded and understaffed. Perfect. I pulled out a folder I'd prepared. I'm also here to file a formal complaint about her care before she transfers. A complaint? Yes. I have reason to believe she's been inappropriate with staff. Verbal abuse, specifically. I'd like it documented that I do not consent to her having any access to my contact information, and I'm rescinding my status as emergency contact. Beverly looked uncomfortable. Miss Chen, these are serious accusations. They are, and I have a witness who will corroborate. My brother Tom will be calling you tomorrow. I spent the next week building my case. Tom and I met for coffee 3 days after my nursing home visit. Maggie, are you sure about this? He stirred his coffee nervously. I mean, I agree with you, but this is pretty nuclear. She went nuclear on our childhoods, Tom. I'm just returning the favor with legal precision. When you called me out of the blue, I thought maybe you wanted to reconnect. But this... He shook his head. It's kind of scary how prepared you are. I've been preparing for 25 years. Every time I went to therapy, every time I worked through another trauma, I kept records. I have documentation of everything. She called me yesterday, Tom said quietly, crying, begging me to talk to you. What did you tell her? I told her I remembered everything. I told her about the scars on my back from her belt. I told her about dropping out of high school because she needed my factory wages. She tried to say she was just strict, that we turned out fine despite being difficult children. Difficult children? I laughed without humor. That's rich. I also told her I'd testify in court if necessary. It might be necessary. I've been documenting her behavior at the nursing home. Turns out she's been verbally abusive to staff. They're actually relieved someone's finally taking her seriously. My phone rang. Sarah. Don't answer it, Tom said. No, I should. I picked up. Hello, Sarah. How could you? She was crying. How could you do this to Mom? Beverly from the nursing home called me. She said you're refusing to help and filing complaints. I'm doing exactly what needs to be done. She's our mother, Maggie. She's sick and old and needs us. Where was she when we needed her? Where was she when Tom needed stitches because she pushed him down the stairs? Where was she when I was hospitalized for malnutrition because she spent the grocery money gambling? Those things didn't happen. Mom explained everything to me. She said you guys are lying because you're angry she was strict. Sarah, I'm going to send you something. Check your email in 5 minutes. I hung up. Tom raised an eyebrow. What are you sending her? Hospital records, police reports, school documents, everything. She might not believe it even then. Then that's her choice. But I'm done protecting Linda's reputation. The confrontation I knew was coming happened 4 days later. Linda had apparently convinced Sarah to take her for an outing, and they showed up at my house unannounced. James answered the door. Margaret, you have visitors. I came to the foyer and saw them on my porch. Sarah was pushing Linda in a wheelchair, and they both looked determined. We need to talk, Sarah said. No, we don't. Please, Maggie, just give us 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I let them in. We sat in my living room, Linda in her wheelchair, Sarah on the couch, me standing by the window. James hovered in the doorway. Margaret, baby, Linda started. Stop calling me that. I came to apologize, really apologize. I know I wasn't the best mother. You weren't a mother at all. I was young. I was struggling. Your father left me with 3 kids and no support. So you took it out on us? That's your excuse? Sarah jumped in. Maggie, I read the documents you sent. I looked at the hospital records. And? Mom explained them. You were clumsy as a kid. The broken arm was from falling off your bike. The bruises were from playing rough. I stared at her. You're actually defending her. I'm trying to see both sides. There aren't 2 sides to child abuse, Sarah. Linda started crying. I'm sorry, okay? I'm so sorry for everything. Please, Margaret, I'm begging you. Don't let them send me to that state facility. I'll die there. Then die. The room went silent. Even James looked shocked. Linda's tears stopped. Her face hardened. You ungrateful little bitch, after everything I did for you. There it is. The real Linda. I should have hit you harder. I should have beaten the defiance out of you when you were young. Did you hear that, Sarah? Did you hear your mother admit to hitting me? Sarah looked between us, confused. I'm done here, I said. Get out of my house. I'm not leaving until you agree to help me, Linda shouted. James, call the police. Linda grabbed the wheels of her wheelchair. You can't do this. I'm your mother. You owe me. I owe you nothing. In fact, you owe me. 18 years of childhood you stole, and I'm going to make sure you pay for every single one. The police came and escorted Linda and Sarah out. Linda screamed threats the entire way. I'll sue you. I'll tell everyone what a terrible daughter you are. You'll regret this. Actually, I called after her, I'm the one who's going to be doing the suing. Detective Patricia Morrison from the local precinct called me the next day. Miss Chen, your mother filed a harassment complaint against you, but I've been reviewing some documents you submitted to social services. Can we talk? Absolutely. We met at a coffee shop downtown. Detective Morrison was in her 50s, sharp-eyed and professional. I've been a detective for 23 years, she said, spreading out the files I'd sent. These documents are extensive. Hospital records, school reports, photographs? Why didn't anyone act on this when you were a child? It was the 90s. My mother was good at hiding it. She charmed teachers, intimidated me into lying at doctors' offices. And honestly, I don't think anyone wanted to look too closely. I believe you. The pattern here is clear. The question is, what do you want to do about it now? I want her to face consequences. Legal consequences. She threatened me in my home yesterday in front of witnesses. I have it on my security camera. Detective Morrison nodded. The DA might be interested in the elder abuse statutes, actually. Your mother's pattern of behavior suggests she might be a danger to other vulnerable people in her nursing home. Whatever keeps her from hurting anyone else, I support. The legal process took months. Tom and I gave depositions. We found other people from our childhood, neighbors, teachers, even my old school counselor, who remembered and were willing to talk now. Sarah called me once during this time. I saw Mom yesterday. She's been transferred to the state facility. Good. Maggie, she looks terrible. The place is awful. She's sharing a room with 3 other people and the staff barely pays attention to them. That's unfortunate. How can you be so cold? Practice. 25 years of practice. She wants to apologize again. She wants to make amends. I don't want her apology, Sarah. I never did. I wanted justice, and I'm getting it. You're going to regret this when she's gone. No, I won't. I've been preparing for her death since I was 17. The only difference is now I get to watch karma work. Sarah didn't call again after that. The final confrontation came 6 months later. Linda's lawyer, court-appointed, requested a meeting to discuss a settlement. My client is willing to admit to certain disciplinary excesses in exchange for your agreement to help fund her care, the lawyer said. No, Miss Chen, be reasonable. I'm being perfectly reasonable. Your client terrorized me for 17 years. She stole my childhood, my education, my sense of safety. She can spend her old age exactly as alone and frightened as she made me feel. Linda was on a video call for this meeting, and I could see her on the laptop screen. She looked older, frailer. Margaret, please, she said. I'll admit everything. I'll say I was wrong. Just help me. You'll admit everything because the evidence is overwhelming. You'll say you were wrong because you want money. Neither of those things are real apologies. What do you want from me? Nothing. That's the point. I want nothing from you, and I'm giving you nothing in return. You're going to live out your days in that facility, with no family support, no comfort, no love. Just like you gave me. You're destroying me! No, Linda, I'm just not saving you. There's a difference. The video call ended. The lawyer tried one more time to negotiate, but I held firm. Tom backed me completely. Sarah washed her hands of all of us. I walked out of that lawyer's office feeling lighter than I had in years. James was waiting in the car. How do you feel? He asked. Free, finally, completely free. No regrets? Not even one. She took my childhood. I took her comfortable old age. We're even now. James squeezed my hand. What's next? Next, I'm going to live the life she tried to prevent me from having. I'm going to be happy, successful, and completely unburdened by guilt. That's the best revenge of all. Have you ever had to set boundaries with toxic family members? What would you do if someone who hurt you came back asking for help? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more real stories about justice and moving on.